Salut à tous, c'est Xeleko et bienvenue pour cet épisode 100% Wildstar numéro 1. L'épisode 2 contiendra pas mal d'infos détaillées, mais en attendant pour l'épisode 1, eh bien, les développeurs ont plutôt pas mal simplifié la tâche. Ils ont fait des trailers fun, courts, et je pense que vous devez de les voir parce que c'est toujours agréable. Alors si vous les avez déjà vus, c'est pas grave. Moi j'ai déjà vu les vidéos plein de fois, mais avant de voir les détails et puis les petites infos croustillantes, eh bien il faut apprendre les bases. Alors je sais que beaucoup suivent le jeu impatiemment comme moi et sont au courant des infos, mais pas mal ne connaissent rien du jeu d'ailleurs, qui est développé par Carbine Studio et édité par la boîte à MMO NCSoft forcément. Cette vidéo ne contiendra que des trailers officiels réalisés directement par l'équipe de développement. Fun en plus à regarder et super cool. On va commencer par qu'est-ce que c'est Wildstar, avec la petite planète Nexus qui vous en apprendra plus un petit peu sur l'environnement du jeu. Après on s'attaquera aux races disponibles dans le jeu, s'en suivra les classes que vous pourrez jouer, puis après alors les vocations, ce sont un petit peu des quêtes supplémentaires en fonction de ce que vous aimez jouer dans un MMORPG. Après on verra le housing pour terminer, et puis peut-être 2-3 autres choses, je ne sais plus. Gameplay. Ah oui, bien sûr, l'excellent gameplay, j'ai failli totalement zapper. Oh là, c'est honteux ça de ma part. Excusez-moi. Donc oui, il y aura le gameplay bien entendu. Donc j'espère que cette vidéo vous plaira. Et puis n'oubliez pas, l'épisode 2 regorgera de petites infos qui ne sont pas dans cette vidéo, mais que je pourrais vous dire oralement, puisque ça a été dit par les développeurs. Donc on le sait, même si ça n'a pas été explicitement montré dans une vidéo. Donc voilà, c'est parti. Je me tais maintenant, mais je vous laisse savourer ces trailers et je vous retrouve dans l'épisode 2 pour ces petits détails. A tout de suite.
Peggy 12.
Legend tells of the mysterious planet Nexus, once inhabited by the hyper-advanced Elden, who disappeared from the galaxy long ago. Where is this lost world? What mysteries and wonders would be found there? And does it conceal ancient technologies and forbidden magic of awesome, unimaginable power? Guess what? You're gonna find out, Cupcake. Nexus has just been discovered, and things are about to get real. Welcome to Wildstar. When someone finds the most legendary planet in the universe, you can be damn sure that everyone is saddling up their starship and blazing a trail to get there. On one side, you've got the Exiles, a motley crew of refugees, outlaws, and mercenaries. On the other, the Dominion, a powerful interstellar empire that prides itself on kicking ass. Throw in a bunch of the weirdest, wildest, and most ruthless races this side of the event horizon, and you've got an explosive cocktail just looking for someone to party with. You ready for a fight? Oh yeah. Face off against dangerous alien organisms, killer robots, and savage natives, using skill, movement, and some old-fashioned backbone to smash your enemies to smithereens. Whether your arsenal is big guns and bullets or supercharged magical spells, you'll be cracking skulls and making corpses in no time. Well, stakes not high enough for you? Then you and some of your most bloodthirsty friends should double down and buy a war plot. Then outfit it with enough firepower to blow a hole in the space-time continuum. When your death fortress is complete, go to war against your enemies and earn rewards so epic your head will explode like a supernova. Boom! Taming a hostile alien world ain't gonna be easy, so choose a path and start taking care of business. As a soldier, scientist, settler, or explorer, you'll be facing Nexus head-on with custom content and rewards that make it your kind of adventure. So whether it's starting a war, building a town, climbing a mountain, or studying bug-eyed, brain-eating extraterrestrial critters, you're whipping this planet into shape with your own personal style. You didn't come halfway across the galaxy for a weekend visit, no. So grab a plot, build a house, and kick back on your little piece of the galactic dream. Customize your house with a mind-numbing array of choices, transforming it into a unique reflection of your own enigmatic, schizophrenic, or sociopathic tastes. Snazzy! And just when you think it's all over and maybe it's time to take a breather, guess again. Dive headfirst into an episodic world story to reveal the ultimate secrets of Nexus, doing your best to avoid getting demolished, dissected, or vaporized. Along the way, you'll see some of the most epic content since the Big Bang itself, squaring off against the most hair-raising enemies that Nexus has to offer. Add to that an unbelievable lineup of dungeons, raids, PvP battlegrounds, and adventures, and you've got a rich, deep, unforgettable experience that's guaranteed to blow your mind.
Howdy! It looks like I am gonna be the one to tell you about the exiles. You see, normally they don't let me do this kind of thing on account of my mouth running where it ain't supposed to, and I'm just so excited! I think I might wet my britches. Uh-oh. Okay, y'all know about the Dominion, right? Well, them bastards like to cause trouble. They ain't starting a war on your planet, then they're probably blockading it with their starships or ravaging it with their freaking machines. Anyway, since a bunch of us got run off our home worlds, we figured it'd be a good idea to join forces, and that's how the exiles came to be. The end. Huh? You want me to keep going? Okay, you asked for it. Let me tell you about us. Humans, that is. We are stubborn folk. Ain't the kind to back down from a fight. And no, we ain't inbred. Most of us, anyway. Then there's the Orin. You might call them scrappy. Protectors of nature and the like. They also got these big furry ears and tails. Some people are into that. Yeah, I know. Weird. These folks here? Well, it might be best if we just don't talk about them. Finally, we got the Graddock. They're big, tough, giant rock people. I mean, they are badass. Of course, most of them got more boulders and brains. Yep, that means just what it sounds like. I'm sure you know about the planet Nexus. Well, one of us exiles found it. And now we're all heading there to make it our new home. Trouble is, the Dominion showed up and they're trying to take it from us. You know what I say? Those stiff-necked, meat-bending bastards want to fight? Then bring it on! Oops, you okay?
Hello there. It appears that it has fallen to me to tell you about the Dominion. And as your luck would have it, I am by far the most qualified individual to do so. Shall we begin? About 1,600 years ago, the humans of planet Cassus were chosen by the Elden to establish a star-spanning empire. And since that time, through intimidation, political intrigue, and a score of impressive military conquests, the Dominion now exists as a shining example of strength and leadership for the rest of the pathetic vermin that infest the galaxy. Enough history. To the heroes of the Empire! The Dragon! Savage warriors, fearless on the field of battle. Not exactly the most refined chaps, but I wouldn't say that to their face. Mechari, advanced robots engineered by the Elden themselves. Deadly assassins and super agents. A sense of humor, a bit lacking, I'm afraid. And not going to talk about this one. Lastly, there are the Cassians, my people, without whose continued courageousness, ambition, and stalwart leadership, the Dominion would undoubtedly crumble. I suppose I would be remiss if I did not mention the ongoing conflict with the so-called exiles on planet Nexus. And not to say that this ragtag alliance of refugees, rebels, and mercenaries poses any real threat. They just need a healthy dose of Dominion galactic diplomacy. Have I made myself clear? Good. I certainly hope so. Hello. Again. Despite my personal feelings on the matter, it seems I will be forced to tell you about them.
Well, they definitely do not like people talking about them. I mean, you've seen them, right?
Sure. Nasty little rodents they are. Of course, you can't deny the buggers are brilliant at what they do. If it can be built and it needs to hurt people, the Chur are the ones for the job. And it's just unfortunate that the furry little fiends are certifiable psychopaths.
They call themselves the Mordish. I call them weird and creepy, infected with some kind of disease. That being said, they sure do know a lot about science and alchemy and the like. Although from what I gather, it's the forbidden kind. Listen, I probably said too much already. I best be off before my mouth really gets me in trouble.
I suppose every great empire has a dark, cutely grotesque underbelly. Personally, I do my best to avoid the little demons. I find my life is much easier that way. Oh, not again.
Une autre tournée, tavernier. J'ai besoin de refaire le plein. Bon, d'accord, laissez-moi vous montrer. Venez à Nexus, qui disait. Le paradis du maraudeur, qui disait. Des villages entiers à détrousser, à piller et à mettre à sac. Pour un vaurien honnête et bosseur comme moi, c'était vraiment l'endroit rêvé où planter ses racines. Et se mettre au boulot. Alors vous allez me dire, c'est quoi le problème? La planète entière grouille de tueurs psychopathes, le v'là le problème. Aïe! Des guerriers, armés jusqu'aux dents, c'est Lascar. Aïe! Quand ils te taillent pas en pièces, ils te font exploser en 1000 morceaux avec leur canon d'avant-bras. Dire qu'il y en a qui me traitent de vermine assoiffée de sang. Et bon... c'est une chose de se faire étriper par une bonne vieille épée. Mais ces espères, ils utilisent leur fichue cervelle pour faire apparaître des lames, des monstres et des... Mais c'est quoi ce truc? Et me parlez même pas des arcanéros. Ceux-là sautent partout comme des diables à moitié fous et dégainent des pistolets magiques pour te cribler de balles. Un pauvre Quan a été rafistolé plus souvent qu'un vieux rafio qui prend l'eau. Après, juste au moment où tu te dis que tu vas enfin pouvoir aller menacer les braves gens du coin, l'un de ces maudits rôdeurs surgit soudain de nulle part et t'embroche comme un vulgaire poulet. Aïe, mon pauvre foie a encore du mal à s'en remettre. Et puis, il y a les toubibs. Faut pas se laisser berner, hein. Leur saleté de résonateur te brise les os et te liquéfie les tripes. Serment d'Hippocrate, mes fesses, oui. Qu'est-ce que tu dis? Est-ce que j'ai peur des ingénieurs? Jamais entendu parler d'eux. Qu'est-ce qu'ils vont me faire, hein? Me faire la vidange et resserrer mes boulons? Oh, c'est pas vrai.
Welcome to Wildstar. This is DevSpeak. Do not feed the disclaimer. It's time to unleash the people's eyebrow of classes. He prefers to be known as the Warrior! Our goal with the Warrior was to make a close-range, brute force brawler that uses high-tech weaponry and atomic energy to close distances, generate threat, and bring the damages. He's kind of a nuclear-powered Swiss Army knife, attached to a pro wrestler. The Warrior comes fully loaded with a giant power sword, heavy armor, brute force, and a cannon on his arm. A giant arm cannon. So first things first, the Warrior has this power sword, and he uses it to smash through anything that gets in his way. Now the Warrior's arm cannon can do a little bit of everything. Shoot this fool. Grapple that guy. Power saw this thing. Water some flowers. Then you've got my favorite part. His 1980s wrestling moves. Bitch slap. Body check. Power kick. Power kick. Power kick to death. I mean, what are these guys gonna do? You've got heavy armor! Yeah! And thanks to limited action set, I can build my warrior out sweet. I can roll him straight up tank, or go balls to the wall damage. Maybe a healthy dose of both? So that's the warrior. Get your eyeballs over to the website. Welcome to Wildstar. This is DevSpeak. Stop. Disclaimer time. Let's get into another one of our delicious Wildstar classes. This one's called the Esper. Our goal with the Esper was to make a flashy, telekinetic illusionist that uses his mind to heal and do damage from varying distances. Basically combining Professor X with the Green Lantern. Thanks to limited action set, the Esper can be played a number of ways. But me, I like to pick a spot, aim, and unleash. Then, displace. Now Espers come packing with a telekinetic Psyblade, powerful illusions, light armor, and a migraine. The Psyblade is a bladed weapon that Espers control with their minds. They're also able to manifest multiple copies of the Psyblade when needed. Jealous? Now illusions are the Esper's specialty. Attacking their enemies' minds, Espers unleash powerful nightmare visions on their foes, or beneficial dreams on their allies. Ooh. The Esper can also conjure all sorts of bizarre creatures to harass you with. Want some crazy CC abilities? Esper's got them. Snares, roots, knockbacks, knockdowns, subdue, monitor turnoffs. Just kidding. Remember, you've got light armor, so keep your distance and stay on your toes. Or spin on your toes. Or turn into a unicorn. That wraps it up for the Esper. Hit up our site. Welcome to Wildstar. This is DevSpeak. Ooh, this disclaimer has a hint of cranberry and just a flutter of nutty aged cheddar. So it's time to talk about Wildstar's interdimensional magic space cowboy, or spellslinger for short. Spellslingers are highly mobile, ranged assassins that use dual blasters and void magic to skirt danger, hurt some folk, and shoot their friends in the face. With heals. Basically, he's the Nightcrawler in a cowboy hat. Now, spellslingers use sigils, blasters, light armor, and portals to another dimension. 8th or 9th, maybe. 8th or 9th dimension. Probably. The void lets him teleport around, switch places with enemies. They can even hide out in there for a bit. Now, they also have powers in the real world, like sigils. Spellslingers use sigils to throw bad guys around, aim heals at their buddies, or blast things with fire and stuff. Which brings me to their primary weapon, dual blasters. They're perfect for running and gunning, or charging up and ripping through hide. Now all this and his light armor make the Spellslinger the most nimble, slippery sumbitch this side of the OK Corral. Teleport, dash, run and gun, swap, bamf! And of course, limited action set lets you decide if you're going to roll more guns blazing damage or friendly fire heals. Maybe favor mobility or precision nukes. Maybe you like CC. Either way, you're going to love saddling up with a Spellslinger. So take a shot at our website for more. Welcome to Wildstar. This is DevSpeak. Disclaimer. So you know that class in every game that has a huge advantage because he can walk around invisible? Well, we call that class a Stalker. Whoa. Chill out. We didn't make the Stalker overpowered. But they are pretty sweet. In a ninja kind of way. After all, he is Batman Wolverine Predator. The Stalker is an opportunistic stealth melee assassin that uses speed, evasion, and clever combinations of abilities to perforate helpless foes. The Stalker toolbelt comes with retractable claws, high-tech gadgets, medium armor, and ridiculously futuristic nanoskin. It's ridiculous. So, he's got claws. Shing. Claws are the perfect weapon for this martial arts master to chain lightning-quick combos and position-based strikes. High-tech gadgets help a stalker keep targets within their grasp. Stun, root, tether, close the gap, and start poking. Nanoskin is the key to a stalker's power. Take Professor Hambone here. Nanites within her body allow her to siphon health, absorb damage, create clones, and of course, turn invisible. Even in combat. Is that grass moving? And with limited action set, you get to decide if you want to roll more ambush style or disruption specialist. You can do huge amounts of damage or go straight up tank. How do you tank with medium armor? Well, you can always use your nanites to beef up. Or be good and don't get hit. Well, that's all I can get into for the Stalker. I'm alive. What happened? Wait. Friend! Who are you?
What unrevealed class are you?
Welcome to Wildstar. This is DevSpeak.
Disclaimer.
Today we're going to take a look at a class that we've been keeping secret for a while. Well, sort of. You can see him right there. And there and there. But today we're going to talk about it. It's called the Medic. Our goal with the Medic was to make an ultra high-tech, close-range, hybrid healer and damage dealer. Think Tron meets Neurosurgeon, only weaponized. And like all our classes, we want it to be mobile, challenging, and fun. Not about some UI minigame. So medics come equipped with resonators, stations, probes, medium armor, and a medical degree. Resonators allow medics to charge or channel powerful diagnostic fields that mend wounded allies or devastate healthy enemies, often simultaneously. How is this achieved? Science. Medics can also deploy persistent fields called stations. Stations let them strategically control the battlefield by leaving fixed zones for damage or healing. Probes are little AI scanners that can be attached to allies and enemies. Healing, damage, buffs, debuffs, whatever you need, just probe it. And when the time is right, you can re-trigger the probes to detonate. Boom. Finally, we equip medics with medium armor, which is good because sometimes you'll need to get up in a boss's grill and heal your homies. Well, that's it for our preview of the Medic. Check out the site for more info on this crazy doctor. Welcome to Wildstar. This is DevSpeak. This is the disclaimer. It's finally time to throw back the curtain on the Ron Popeil of classes. The Engineer. Our goal with the Engineer was to make a heavy-range tank class that uses do-it-yourself gadgets and bots to destroy things. It's a pet class that doesn't play like a pet class. Basically, we put Inspector Gadget in a monster truck. Now, engineers come packing with heavy armor, launchers, bots, an exosuit, and a ShamWow. Yo, dog, we heard you like bots. So we put some bots with your bots, so you can kill things while you kill things. The Engineer has bots for tanking, DPS, CC, and heals. Every bot has an ability, and you hold the trigger. She also uses her launcher to fire out experimental projectiles, like this, or this, or call an artillery strike. Your heavy armor not heavy enough? No problem. Just activate the limited edition Mark IV exosuit. It makes you better at everything. What this means is, it's the Engineer's choice to either hang back in DPS mode to dish out long-range damage, or switch to tank mode and wade through the battlefield. Like an actual tank. So that's the Engineer in a nutshell. Hit up our site for more details about this mechanical monstrosity. Welcome to Wildstar. This is DevSpeak. Disclaimer time. This series is about getting into the nitty-gritty of Wildstar. That said, we're going to start with something you might not expect. It's one of our core features. Housing. Let's start at the beginning. How do you get a house? Well, just find yourself a Protostar housing specialist. You'll see them pretty early on. Bring some cash and you are G2G. They'll send you straight to your sky plot to start building. You'll want to clear off any, shall we say, undesirables. Oh, what up? You can stay. First, you can build a little campsite. Then you'll get a starter home. Eventually, you can buy some pretty crazy domiciles. Once it's built, you can customize and decorate the hell out of it. And really, you can do anything. I mean, inside, outside, walls, roofs, doors, windows, wallpaper, furniture, it's all fair game. But a floating chair and an upside-down table. See if I care. But housing in Wildstar isn't this isolated secondary feature. It's actually woven into your entire gameplay experience. You'll find items for your house all over the game, from random drops to quest rewards to crafting. It will become your home base, and a place that provides you with a myriad of conveniences. An easy example? Logging off in your house grants you more rest XP than anywhere else. More cool items in your house? More rest XP. Remember how I said you can decorate the outside of your house? Well, you can actually construct buildings and facilities. We call them plugs. They fit into spots on your land called sockets. This is where the real action happens. Like to cook? Build a garden to harvest ingredients. Need some more? Build a mine. Can't bring the deeps? Practice on a target dummy. Tired of facing that mob of players around the public workbench? Build your own and craft in peace. Your plugs will give you daily quests, resources, and more. But they do take some time to build up. Don't worry, because you can teleport to your house anytime from anywhere. Housing is also a little bit of a social scene. Set your plot to allow your friends and neighbors to visit, or open it up to the public. It's not just about showing off. You'll be looking at some serious perks. Can't log on for a week? Get a buddy to maintain your garden, and they'll get a portion of the reward. Bandits raiding your neighbor's property? Lend a helping hand, gun, or sword, and earn yourself some bounty. Hardcore raider? How about a personal raid portal? With a buff. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. We are making a big effort to make player housing a major part of the game, and I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it as much as I do. Well, maybe not as much as I do. This is only the tip of the iceberg for housing, but that's all I can show you for now. Welcome to Wildstar. This is DevSpeak. This is the disclaimer. Let's get to it. We thought now was a good time to go over some of the finer details of Wildstar's gameplay mechanics. Before getting into specifics on classes and abilities, I think it's best we start at the foundation. Movement. I know it sounds simple, but consider the fact that movement plays a major role in every part of the game. You know, questing, exploring, looting, trolling, raging. Wildstar's not trying to reinvent the wheel when it comes to movement controls. Good old WASD feels familiar and it gets the job done. We've got mouse look, turning, and strafing. Basic, I know, but important when you're trying to say, line up a power shot, heal your buddies, or taunt mobs going ham on your group. But let's get back to movement. We have jumping. Yeah, no, not that exciting. How about double jump? That's literally twice the jump. No. How about quadruple? But seriously, double jump is awesome. It makes exploring Nexus a blast. Double jump in combat? Perfect for using the arena walls to escape when you're low on health. Or for chasing your fleeing victims and ensuring the death blow. In PvE, you're going to love double jump. Use it to launch over death rays. Or get shot in the d. We've also added an FPS-style sprint function. Hold shift and run a ton faster. Pro tip, use sprint and jump together. It's rad. See that crystal floating off in the distance? May I introduce the sprinting double jump combo. Alright, so we decided to give you a sprint meter that runs out while sprinting. Why? Because if you could sprint all the time, you wouldn't be sprinting. You should be running faster. Just keep the meter in mind when you're rushing to get dibs on that mining node. Sure, you might get there first, but what happens when that node turns into this? If you've seen some of our other videos, you've probably seen that we have dash. What's the best use for dash? Avoiding enemy attacks, of course. What's that robo-fish thing? Is it shooting a laser at me? I'll just go ahead and step to the side, thanks. Dash is not a one-trick pony, though. It's great for other things as well. Esper Buddy dropped me a healing orb. Thanks. Enemy knocked your weapon away. No problem. That little sheep over there. What up? We've also got a whole bunch of class abilities that take advantage of movement. Leap and smash that guy. A little teleport right here. Oh, and my personal favorite. How about I just tear a hole in reality to switch spots with a robot? Keep in mind, Planet Nexus has gravity. Well, except when there are floating crystals that alter gravity. Or you're in space. Anyway, that's all I can cover for now. Beta's underway. But don't worry, we'll be posting more of these videos, so check back soon. Welcome to Wildstar. This is DevSpeak. This is the disclaimer. Go time. In this episode, we're going to talk about what is, hands down, the most defining aspect of Wildstar's combat: aiming. Now, during development, we experimented with several different aiming methods: traditional MMO tab targeting, crosshair aiming, crosshair soft targeting, and MOBA-style skill shots. Each of these methods has its pros and cons, and attracts some of us more than others. In the end, we decided to put together a new system we call freeform targeting. It takes the core of traditional MMO tab targeting, letting you easily locate your allies or enemies. But with almost all of our abilities, you can actually take manual control of your aiming to launch projectiles or inflict pure area effect damage. This system ends up giving you moment-to-moment control and a real sense of risk versus reward. It also works great with our existing creature telegraphs. Telegraphs felt pretty awkward when combined with traditional MMO targeting. All you had to do was use an ability to snap back to the enemy. Not much skill. Freeform targeting is the missing link. This means that while your enemies can miss, so can you. Suddenly, movement, positioning, and aiming make all the difference to an expert player. Because getting the most bang for your buck means nailing all 4 of these fools. This is also crucial to PvP. The best players know how to deliver their damage while avoiding their enemies. This guy, he needs to get on my level. Now we do give you tools to help you aim. Mousing over an ability on your bar shows a targeting decal. Holding down the button lets you aim. When you're ready, just release. There we go. All classes in Wildstar will have to master aiming. Need a little crowd control? Make sure your aim is on point, and you'll unleash some crazy combos. Tanking? Freeform targeting adds an element of skill to all the basics. Pulling, holding threat, taunting, protecting your group. Skilled tanks will stand out. How about healing? In Wildstar, healers will have to move constantly, evading attacks and actually lining up their heals. You'll know a good healer when you see one. To keep things fresh, we have a smorgasbord of different attack shapes. And when paired up with different cast methods, we get a huge range of abilities. Keep in mind, moving and aiming are just the meat and bread of the Wildstar combat sandwich. We still got all the fixins. Later, we'll talk about how crowd control works in Wildstar. Like blind. Oh, Welcome to Wildstar. This is DevSpeak. This is our disclaimer. Not sure what this is. Order up! In this episode, we're going to take another little look inside the Wildstar combat sandwich. We've shown the meat and the bread, movement and aiming. Now it's time for the cheese. Crowd control. Crowd control are attacks that disable enemies. Stuns, knockdown, sleep, that kind of thing. Now, players have a love-hate relationship with crowd control. After all, using CC on an enemy can be undeniably satisfying. But there are few game systems that can be as keyboard breaking, table flipping, monitor smashingly frustrating as being the victim of crowd control. That being said, CC is a fundamental part of MMO gameplay. It adds variety to the kinds of abilities you can use, expanding player choice beyond just damage and healing. CC also forces players to react and improvise, using abilities in ways they might not always predict. So with that in mind, we've been working hard to avoid CC's major flaw, losing control of your character. Nobody likes watching helplessly as their character gets beat on. Our answer to this is a system we call breakout gameplay. Thanks to this system, when you get hit with CC, you're not helpless, but it's on you to counter it. Alright, here's an example. Take disarm. An enemy hits you with a disarm, and for 5 seconds you can't use your weapon attacks, right? Pretty standard. Well, in Wildstar, disarm actually shoots your weapon out into the game space. All you gotta do is run over and grab it. Of course, in the heat of combat, this can be challenging. Breakout gameplay. Now, taking disarm as a prototype, we've applied this concept to just about all crowd control in Wildstar. Let's say you get stunned. Whoa there. Spam your F key quick enough, and you can shake it off. Get knocked down? Use a dash charge to roll back to your feet. Disorient actually rearranges your movement controls. What the Left is up and down is... Ah! Blind is a cool one. Because of freeform targeting, you can still use all your abilities. Nice job. You just healed a tree. Tether is a new type of CC. Need to escape? Whoop! Not so fast. Better hurry up and bust that anchor. Homie's looking to kill you. We've also reworked how CC affects bosses. Instead of just making them immune to CC, we've given them what we call interrupt armor. What this means is, you and your buddies, you can actually work together to stun this mofo. Well, that's all the time I have for now. Keep an eye out for more DevSpeak. What comes after the bread, meat, and cheese? How about some special sauce? Welcome to Wildstar. This is DevSpeak.
Disclaimer-thon!
In previous episodes, we talked about how movie and aiming combat is in Wildstar. After all, combat is what you will be doing most often, so we want to make sure you're having fun out there. We showed you crowd control. how breakout gameplay gives you a way to fight back when disabled. But before we get to talking about classes, and we can't wait, we need to have a little chat about the special sauce in our combat sandwich. It's the way you, as the player, control what your character can do. I'm talking about ability mechanics. In other words, how you interact with the game in order to use your abilities. Now, in most MMOs, you've got your standard set. Instant abilities, cast time, and channel. Instant, cast time, channel. Instant, cast time, channel. Hit the button, wait for it to do its thing. Make a chicken sandwich. In Wildstar, we needed players to interact with their abilities in a much more reactive way, because circumstances can change quickly. That's why, in addition to instant abilities, we've made the vast majority of our cast time and channel spells mobile, whether you're channeling and chasing, or charging and fleeing. On top of that, we've added a whole suite of cast methods designed to be reactive, like rapid tap. Wait until an enemy is vulnerable, and tap tap tap. Once you activate it, you've only got a short window to get your hits in, so tap it while it counts. Ability charges have multiple uses, but no time limit. So fire off some steady damage and keep one in reserve. Or stun this poor chump and dump all your charges. You're dead. Charge and release is a more reactive take on cast time. You can hold the button to charge up, but if homie pulls a fast one, fire it off and change tactics. Might not do as much damage, but it won't go to waste. Press and hold is a reactive channel and feels supremely gratifying. Hold the button, people start dying. Need to react to something? Just let go and do your thing. What this approach to ability mechanics does is take a combat system built on movement and aiming and adds reactive mobile casting and variety. Because be it healer, tank, or DPS, we think everyone deserves to feel like a spider monkey ninja. If they want. Now, we've covered almost all aspects of the Wildstar combat sandwich.
Voilà, l'épisode 1 de 100% Wildstar, c'est terminé. Mais n'oubliez pas, dans l'épisode 2, vous pouvez me retrouver pour une petite discussion avec un petit peu plus de détails sur les facettes du jeu, notamment sur le PvE et le PvP dont je suis très friand. Ceux qui sont habitués à ma chaîne le savent très bien, et donc n'hésitez pas à vous abonner pour en voir davantage, voir la suite, et aussi des vidéos Wildstar quand ce jeu sortira, parce que je l'attends très impatiemment. D'ici là, portez-vous bien et je vous donne rendez-vous sur mes prochaines vidéos. Allez, salut tout le monde et à la prochaine. Ciao!